What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me, but I just got home off of an early morning flight, right? First thing through the door, I want to see my family. I love my family. You know, I'm a family man. I'm an advocate for families, right? Second thing, I got to get that hot shower because I got to throw the threads on. The threads make me feel like $1,000,000, but the third thing through my mind and all throughout the trip is that I gotta have that Tej pack. Tej makes my life uncomplicated. It's uncomplicated skincare for men. The first way that I started specifically was their level 1 system. It's a daily face wash to get rid of the dirt and grime on your skin. 2 times per week exfoliating scrub to get rid of the dead skin cells. An AM moisturizer with SPF 20 because you should always be protecting your skin from the sun. And a PM moisturizer to help your skin stay hydrated and healthy throughout the night. Here's the thing. My favorite part about Tej Henley is that every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. They really making the process of achieving and maintaining amazing skin for men uncomplicated. In addition to amazing skin, members of Tej Henley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off the retail price, the ability to customize your box, exclusive monthly deals, you can pause and cancel at any time, and you get free shipping. And because Tej Henley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers an amazing deal, right? Just click the first link in the description and you get 30% off your first box, plus a free gift. It's an amazing deal. You got to get started today. You're not out here trying to look like a dusty. And if you travel as much as I do, which I'm sure most people don't, but you know me, I'm pushing my bag chasers in order to be in the top 5%, top 10%, top 1%. We got to make our lives uncomplicated, and Tej Henley is no better product. You got to look good. You got to smell good. And you can't be looking like a dusty. Make sure you get started today. Click the link in the description. Get that Tej pack. Feel the Tej, my friends. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tapping in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. It is February 6th, 2023, year of our Lord, and it is another opportunity for us to do great things. So, as well as you know, Anton is back in town doing my thing. Say what, Rita? You said what, babe? Yo, I'm gonna be honest with you. Very few things is more bothersome than your wife and significant other yelling things from the other room, and then when you respond to them, they act like they can't hear you. Anyways, just the ebbs and the woes of being a husband in 2023. We are doing some phenomenal things. Let me go ahead and tap in to the chat and see what y'all talking about today. So I got my dog Kojak is in the building. What up, though, Kojak? I got my boy Zoe. Lonzo Hall is in the building. Big Suggs, Miss Jill. What's up, Miss Jill? How you doing, love? We also have Spaces. What up, though? Kingdom Minded. You know what I like about y'all? I like the fact that when y'all come in, y'all speak to each other. It's like coming into work or coming into the bar or coming into a familiar space that you used to coming into, in which people start to kick it with each other. So I love that. I love that about y'all. Shout out to Sarah H. Says, AM workout knocked out. Hope y'all doing well. What up, though? What's happening? Ogendale. I hope I got that right. Ogendale. What's happening, Kofi? I'm here. I'm in the building. Slade says, this black man versus black woman S gotta go. All y'all look goofy. Well, we gonna talk about it today. And Slade, you know what? I wasn't anticipating doing this, but I am anticipating possibly dropping a link in the description for you to be able to come up and say what you want to say, because I interact with the audience. It's a little different for me. Freedom, what up though? Jeremy Covington, what's happening? Big Suggs. Kevin Hall, what up? Big Podcast. What up though? Hero, what's up, my friend? Red lipstick vibes, I love you. Terrell, Hard Body Tie. Treehouse 2023, what's happening? Alvin S, what's happening? Kimberly, what's up, Kim? Brandon Marcus, what's happening, friends? All right, so listen. I am absolutely positively ecstatic to be able to come to you today, and have these conversations because it's not a black man versus black women thing. It's more of a fundamental understanding of what's wrong with our communities and solving it. That's the easy way to do it. The easy way to do it is to say, oh man, we all just need to stick together. Okay, so let me ask you a question. Do you stick together with the person that just broke inside of your car? Do you have that same sentiment, or are you bothered by it and you're trying to figure out how it is that I can solve for my car getting broken into? Because this is not an ideal situation. Usually what people like to do, if they can, they try to remove themselves from the environment. Otherwise, they have to take some temporary steps, right? They got to get a better alarm, put a fence up, maybe put it in the garage, get some security cameras, all of that other type of stuff. Now, pay attention to what we're talking about now, because this isn't even a part of the show that I explore this, but this is a metaphor or a similar circumstance that I'm painting in order to help you to understand why we're having these conversations. Because in order to solve for the problem, you truly need to deep dive and understand exactly what's happening. And so we're not going to ignore what's been happening over the last 30, 40, 50, 60 years just to make you feel good because you want to be lazy about having a conversation about the things that we actually need to do to solve for the problem. And see, one of the reasons why I'm better suited to have this conversation is because I am a reflection of the thing that I want to see within the community, right? I do make a lot of money. I absolutely am a phenomenal father to my daughter that's in the household with me, although she's at school right now. I am married to my woman for almost 19 years this year. And so who better to facilitate this conversation than the person that is best suited to be able to hold people accountable? And I don't want other people to have to suffer through what it is that I'm not going through, because there is another side to it. But in order for us to even explore this, you got to have the conversation. And we are not going to continue to lean on the things that are worse for us. If you are not willing or not suited to hear this and you want to continue to live in this dark hole, and let's be clear, even people that are married are not successfully married. There's a lot of y'all that are suffering through your marriage. And so just because you're with somebody doesn't mean that it's an ideal experience or that you should be with that person in particular. And you need to be conditioned, you need to be taught, you need to be mentored, and you need to be groomed in order to be the person that you need to be, so that you can have other people around you the same way. And so the conversation that we have in today is leapfrogged off of what it is that I seen happening on Sunday. I caught a flight on Saturday, went and took care of some business. And then I came back on Sunday, and as I'm driving on my way back from the airport to come to my humble abode where my wife had my plate waiting for me and a card with some chocolate-covered strawberries as a dessert and all of these phenomenal things, I'm looking and I tap in and I see some egregious things happen on the Lapeef Sunday show. Now, ironically enough, the Lapeef Sunday show, well, you know what? Y'all about to get me cooking hard. Y'all about to get me cooking. Y'all about to get me cooking early. I'm not going to cook early. Let me get some housekeeping out of the way. First and foremost, thank you, Teach Hanley. 30% off your first order plus a free gift. That link is in the description. More importantly, make sure y'all tap into the Alpha Juice Company. Discount codes is in the description for y'all to be able to tap into that. Do not order and go to the website and order, but do not order without putting in the discount code inside of the description, because I want you guys to get the best products off. I have completely gone vegetarian, right? The only thing I'm drinking is water, Alpha Juice Company, and then I've completely released myself, and now I'm going on a plant-based diet. And I don't even want to say diet. I'm embracing a plant-based lifestyle, because I'll get into that in a minute. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description also, as well as pinned to the top of the chat. I just literally probably 15 minutes before we jumped on this live stream, I just dropped a Patreon exclusive video, and it is 2 hours long. And let me give you a little bit of a preview. I'm going to show you the cover of the Patreon video so that you can better understand what you're going to get yourself into, because this is a deep conversation, right? And this conversation specifically talks about and dives into the culture. It talks about and dives into what it is that people are experiencing from a cultural perspective, right? And it comes from a person, let me minimize that really quickly. It comes from a person, a father specifically, who had a son inside of the rap game, and he was literally killed. And so the question that we had to mine through, me, Charleston, and Mr. Williams, thank you to Mr. Williams for flying to Detroit and participating on a platform for this exclusive that I'm dropping just for the Patreon members. What me and Charleston had to parse through on this video is, what was the thing that really killed his son? Was it a broken home? Because he was dealing with a situation in which, the mother and him were separated, or they weren't together. And then, as a result, they had to co-parent from different places, different states, all that other type of stuff. Was it the culture, right? Was it the thing that we immerse ourselves in that ultimately lead us to our demise? Was it rap music? It's so many different layers to this conversation, but it is so crazy. It is an insane story. It is impressive. It is content that you can't get anywhere else. It's better than anything you're going to see on Netflix, and it's real. And so all of us had the conversation. It was wild, and I think that you guys should check it out. If you are a bag chaser, you're a part of the Patreon. It is available for you now. But watch it after this live stream. If you are not a Patreon member, the link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. In addition to all of the exclusive content as far as the uncensored interviews, you also get to unlock all of the webinars. You get to unlock the mastermind sessions. You get to unlock the videos in which I'm breaking down how it is that I'm manifesting wealth through real estate, through content creation. I give you all of the tips, all of the information, and make sure y'all tap into the Discord, which is linked to, or it's at the bottom of every single video that's inside of the Patreon, so that you can align yourself with a group of people that's going in the direction that you're going in. So you definitely want to check that out. It is incredible. It's crazy. I had to put my editors on that to make sure that it is edited just the right way, and you will not get that full uncensored interview anywhere else except for in the Patreon. So make sure y'all tap into that. The Alpha Juice Company and this. Before we get into this show, before we get into what happened on Lapeefing Sundays, I did take a flight this weekend, as usual. So I'm flight, state to state, city to city. I'm going to be doing the Patreon meetups. Y'all know I do that every single month. I also have people flying in here more often than I'm flying out, because it's just really it's much more convenient for me to be able to control the environment, the settings, the microphones, put people in a good place. Shoot phenomenal content. We're doing some great things on the channel, and we have some awesome things coming up for you guys. But I flew over to Jacksonville this weekend, and of course I flew first class, but your luggage don't fly first class. And so as a result, matter of fact, I got it right here. Let me do this. Let me show you all this. Dang, I still got the stuff in it. That's the problem. So let me show y'all what they did to my luggage. So, as you can see, this says fragile, right? I'll pay a decent amount of money for my luggage, but it says fragile, okay? Now, the reason that it says fragile is because I usually carry my recording equipment inside of this. Now, I kind of talked about this on the Millionaire Morning Show, but I want to break some things down to you. So let me show you this real quick. This is the lock. This is my lock, right? Now, the lock is not actually, it doesn't lock. It pops open like that. So if anybody wanted to get inside of my luggage, or they wanted to check the luggage for TSA, look, it just popped right off. If anybody wanted to get inside of my luggage, it's supposed to look like this one. See how you can just pop it off? Can't pop it off no more, because we changed the lock on it as soon as we get here just to see if there was something wrong. But however, this is how I got my luggage back. Out of, so of course you go and Rita's like, yo, Anton, calling Delta. Sure, they're gonna have me pick out some more luggage or whatever, but I don't want their stupid luggage. But Rita went through the process anyway. And it's a headache. It's absolutely a headache. And then the airport was smaller. The flight was smooth. It was awesome. But then at the same time, I couldn't fly directly into Jacksonville because Jacksonville is a smaller airport, similar to OKC. And so as a resort, you had to fly into Atlanta, do a 45-minute layover, and then fly into Jacksonville. Now, the interview went phenomenal, and I'm actually going to drop that interview probably within the next 3 days on the Patreon because this girl was incredible. I mean, she was one of the most incredible interviews that I've ever seen. Shout out to you, love. I'm not even going to reveal who it is yet, but she was incredible. I mean, I can't even tell you any details because then you're going to probably know who it is right away. But I went in, I shot the interview in Jacksonville. We had to do it in Jacksonville. So we had that went well. And the next day I flew back or whatever, right? And so you're going through all of the layovers and the torn up luggage. And then I'm having conversations with Rita and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so tired. I'm tired because I live on a plane. You know what I'm saying? I live on a plane and it's fine. I don't mind traveling. And I know that people are all on this whole wanderlust, travel everywhere thing. But I've been doing this for about a good 20 years. I've been traveling the globe, the United States. I've been to almost every single major city that there is to go through. And I was talking to Rita last night and I said, Rita, I'm about to be 41 years old. I'm getting to a point in my life to where, as wild as this may sound, I'd rather be home and create an environment that's ideal for what it is that I love to do and sleep in my own bed than sleep in a hotel room. I remember when I used to dream about the traveling and sleeping in, different places and all of this other type of stuff. And then, you did it. You do it. It's similar to getting like a luxury car because every time you get in that car now, it's just a car to you now. It's not a thing, right? And so I realized also that the things that I've been working for and paying off the properties and making sure that you got your net worth up and all of this other type of stuff is the life that I live. And so I got a couple different messages for you guys with regard to that before we really, really get into the show. The first message that I have for you guys is that the things that you do now, you have a small window because it is going to seem like I got forever, but you have a small window. Investing in your 401k, saving your money, paying off your debt, not rocking out with student loans, all of this other type of stuff, right? Getting life together, putting your kids in a position where they don't have to actually suffer as far as how much they got to pay for college, getting student loans and all of that other type of stuff. And then after that, because my daughter is going through driver's training, she's literally driving cars. And it's just like, oh my God, my daughter is 15, going through driver's training, about to get her license. She's going to be going off to college in a couple years. I was talking to my brother. I hadn't seen him in a couple months, but I gave him some tickets to the Pistons game. And then he came over into the studio when we was recording Friday night. And then he said, yo, my son about to graduate from college, but he decided to go and get his master's and all of that other type of stuff, right? And I said, oh, yeah. I said, so what y'all going to do? He said, I'm about to be retired in 5 years. I said, you about to retire from what? You ain't even 50. My oldest brother is 7 years older than me. He about 47, 48 or something like that. I said, you're not even 50. He said, I'm retiring in 5 years. I said, what you going to do? He was like, I stacked. I got my money right. Him and his wife was there. They chilling. They having a good time because all of my brothers is married. And it just made me realize like, yo, I'm more than an OG. I got 9 years before I'm 50. Kevin Samuels passed away at 53 years old. I have 9 years before I'm 50. My mother is retired. I take care of her. My nephews, I'm preparing them to get jobs because they graduate in college. My daughter is going to be going off to college in a couple years. Then it's just going to be me and Rita, right? That's some reality check for you. When you start really you start doing an audit over your life, and you start to evaluate where you are, where you want to be, how much it's going to take for you to get there. In the coaching calls, I tell people to reverse engineer what it is that they want. So start off with the end goal, right? Everything in detail, and then we're going to break down exactly what it takes to get there and give you milestones along the way. That's a reality check, right? I plan on working until I die, simply because I think that value needs to be added along the way. But I don't know what that looks like. I don't know if that's just overseeing and managing people and all of this other type of stuff. But I guess my point that I'm trying to make to y'all is a couple different points. A, if you under 30, you have a finite amount of time. You have a finite amount of time in order to really craft your life into what you want it to be. Determining who it is that you're going to pick for a spouse, you can't undo that. Investing in yourself and paying off your debt, you can't undo that. Pouring into your 401k and making investments now, and picking the different companies that you want to invest in for the next 10, 20, 30 years. You have to do that now, because the snowball and getting that ball rolling is largely going to determine the quality of your life once you get past a certain age. I have a lot of friends or people that I grew up with that's messed up. And I want to say effed up, but I promise that I wouldn't cuss, or I would try not to cuss anymore. They messed up. They ain't got a dime to their name. Over 60% of people, 56, 60% of people in the world, in the United States of America, can't come up with $500 to $1,000 in an emergency. They just now getting the mortgage, talking about I bought a home, and they're going to be paying for that for the next 30 years. We 40. That'll be when they 70. The last mortgage that I paid off for the last investment property that I had a mortgage on, you know when that mortgage was supposed to be up? 2035. I had another 12 years if I would have just left that and just let the renters pay it. I said, no, we're not doing that. And it hit different when that 100,000 plus come out of your account. To even be in a position to be blessed enough to wire $100,000 over to pay off of a mortgage for a 400,000 plus property is real. And you know me, I don't mind showing the receipts. I'll pull it up right now. I have no problem with that. But all of this is coming as a result of decisions that I made when I was 20. Who it is that I decided to marry. The investments that I wanted to make was going to determine whether or not I was going to be living a quality of life, and whether or not I can decide I just want to chill, I can retire, or I want to go hard. I go hard because I got bigger goals and objectives. One day I actually want to buy the Pistons. You know what I'm saying? It hit different. It hit different. Make sure I ain't got my account number on here. It hit different when you got that 100 ball coming out. Here, let me see if I can reverse that. Might have to reverse it. Cash, amount, direct debit, $100,000. It hit different. Look at that, transferred. It hit different when you got to wire $160,000 into a particular account in order to pay off a mortgage. When you got the cash to be able to do it, and you ain't tripping. You still got all your properties, your cars, everything. Life is better on this side. It's better. You ain't got to be a rapper. You ain't got to be no entertainer. You ain't got to be no ball player. I coach them dudes. I'm helping them to understand how it is that they can hold on to what they made until they die. And then we start to mine out the conversation and say, hey, what are you supposed to do going forward in order to grow it? Forget just maintaining it. Let's grow it. How many YouTubers are going to actually show you their bank account? How many YouTubers are going to show you the actual receipts for what it is that they do on a regular basis? How many of them are going to show you their W-2s from their job? How many YouTubers are going to show you them bonus checks? How many YouTubers are going to show you that brokerage account? How many YouTubers are going to actually show you their rental properties? Because anybody can talk about it, but very few people actually got the receipts to back it up. How many people is actually going to take you, because ain't nothing fake about this, How many people? It's videos. Every video I drop is a reflection of my life. I've taken you over into my authorized dealer to show you me purchasing my watches. In the Patreon, the next step as a part of growing and teaching you guys how to do something. I've never built the home before, but some of the properties that I purchased, the land that I purchased, I'm going to be taking you guys along the journey with me on me building a new home from scratch and funding it 100% out of my own money. No loans, no hacks, no wholesaling, no investor guru, no, hey, you got to use everybody else's money to get rich. Ain't none of that. It's all coming, all money in, all assets in, all ownership, all 100% of everything. The decisions that you're going to make when you're younger are going to be the determining factor for whatever it is that you can do when you get older. If you are under 30, you have a window of opportunity to focus 100% of your energy on you. If you are above the age of 30, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, anytime under those ages, you have a window of opportunity to really, really zero in on and focus on what you want your life to be like. And then you have to make the hard decisions. It is no better time for you to have to make the hard decisions. When I say make the hard decisions, I'm saying, do you really want to buy that car? It looks nice. It's going to have that new car smell. All your friends is going to be riding and they going to be driving and you don't even realize that they can't even afford the cars that they buying. Do you want to make the informed decision on doing the things that's going to be best for you? Are you really willing to risk it with that particular woman that you know ain't good for you and does not add an ounce of value to you? Are you really willing to live with this student loan debt because you know if you don't tackle it now, it is going to be with you for the rest of your life and it is literally a generational curse because you have nothing to pass on to your children? Do you really want to exist without no insurance? Do you really want to have no life insurance? And they're going to be doing a go. My focus now, as I continue to go into my 40s, is 100% wealth building and health building. Everything that I'm making, every decision that I'm making is based off of those two: wealth building and health building. It's the reason why I'm sponsored by the Alpha Juice Company. It's the reason why I'm going 100% plant-based. I don't care about what other people is doing. I don't care about what is best over there for them. I know what's best for my family. I have to do the thing that's going to allow for me to actually be able to enjoy the things that I've worked for my entire life. And so all I'm telling you is that as you age, as you continue to grow, you are going to have to make the hard decisions to determine whether or not you really want this. Because by the time you get 50, I'm going to tell you, if y'all want me to be 100% honest, it's very, very, very hard once you've hardened your heart. Because at 50, you've really like immersed yourself and you've been doing something so long that you can't even really change your habits. You try to talk to somebody over 50 and you tell them, hey, you need to do something different. The girl that did my painting, she brought her father in to meet me, right? And we were talking. And he was like, yeah, man, I seen your car out there. Can I go and check it out? And so I opened up the Benz. I had the S-Class for him. He was like, I would never get nothing like that. I said, oh, yeah? And I already knew what I was dealing with, but I just wanted to experience. I said, listen, go ahead and get in the car. So we got in. I said, I got the massaging seats and it self-drives you when you get to a certain point and, it's going to change the ambient lighting based off. He's like, oh my God, this is so good. But I'm unwilling to even learn. I said, yeah. I said, look, man, you ain't even got to have no key. You can just start your car with. He said, man, I ain't got no smartphone. He said, I got a flip phone. I said, why you got a flip phone? Because I don't even want to learn. I don't even want to know what's going on. I was thinking to myself, you been in jail before? Nope. This is just the way he is. He's literally walled himself off from progress because he's so afraid of going into the future and learning and evolving and changing. And so he's literally just going to stay doing what he's doing until he age out and then he's just going to die off. I can't live like that. I can't live like that. It's, it's, it's so much opportunity, it's so much growth, it's so much money, and we got to do things a little bit differently. Listen, I don't want to continue to go into that. I want to start getting into the show. Again, make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Also, the Alpha Juice Company. We rocking out with the Alpha Juice Company. Do not order it without putting a discount code in. All of those discount codes is in the description. Let me just share one more thing before we get into the show. Before we start getting into this Lapeefing Sunday situation and whether or not we really need to have this conversation about men deciding to walk away from women. So somebody sent me an article today, and the article specifically was highlighting about how Kendrick Lamar and Beyonce won and all of this other type of stuff at the Grammys, right? And I couldn't take my eyes off of something in particular because I'm like, man, this is throwing me off. This is throwing me off. So I'm going to show some pictures from the literal article. Now, I had to modify the pictures slightly because we got to make it YouTube friendly. We want to make sure that the platform is still on the up and up and that is rated safe for children, right? We're not cussing. We're not doing any of that. But I'm going to show some pictures for you guys, and then you guys try to tell me what you see as a theme as we continue to go on, right? Now, this lady right here, her name is Sienna Leone. Nice outfit. Got a black and sheer theme. They went with a black and white type of theme. It seemed like all of the designers are going a specific type of way. But if you look closely in her outfit, which we're not, but if you look closely within her outfit, it's kind of like a sheer theme, right? Now, I'm not really the fashion guy when it comes to the Grammys. I don't care. But it's something that I noticed in these photos. Let's continue. This young lady, her name is Barrett Gilma. Now we get a little bit more spicy again. The whole theme is skin out. Skin out, they just gonna show you everything, right? And so she got the underboob showing and all of this other type of stuff. I said, okay. It's getting a little wild, okay. And then we had Gail. Now, Gail is not even built to even have on this type of outfit, but Gail certainly had her tatas out and her butt out. And so I'm like, okay, so society is just really, really that messed up. And then they showed this girl. Now, I don't really know who this girl is, but her name is Lil Cece. Now, Lil Cece, her nipples were literally showing, which is one of the reasons I had to have my people blur it out when I'm showing it to you guys. Her nipples were showing through the gown. I said, all right, Anton, you might have just aged out. Charlotte jumped up there. Charlotte Lawrence, her nipples, her little pink nipples was showing. And this was just showing on the regular pictures and the photos. And they was just having a conversation like it wasn't nothing. Your kids can see it. Her kids can see it, the whole 9 yards, right? And then we had Ingrid Andress showing up. Her little flat back was out. Right? You see the theme that we going there with? We had SZA. SZA had her titties out. Right? We got our black women representing, doing the exact same thing as the European women. Okay. Shout out to Umar Johnson. And then this was the one that took the cake, y'all. This is the one that really, really took the cake. All right? Harry Styles. Which is also a reflection of what a lot of the other men was doing at the Grammys, right? So Harry Styles had his colorful rainbow dress on, right? Covered up his little nips. And they tried to mix it in with a little bit of masculinity because you know that he got the tattoos and all this other type of stuff. But this is the thing that really, really, really took the cake for me. And I'm going to tell you why. There is an assault on what you think is normal, and they're reconditioning your mind and convincing you subconsciously that this is okay. Every single thing that you see happening in social media, online today, at the Grammys and all of these subtle messaging is that this is okay. And if you say anything about it, you are some form of a phobe, female phobe, homophobe, germaphobe, some kind of phobe, or something is wrong with you. If I decide that it doesn't make sense for a man to wear a dress, Now remember, we've already been conditioned to the point to where this is our norm. This is nothing. This is just stylish. This is cool. No slacks, no jeans, no tie, no shirt. Take off your shirt, put on you a little dress. All of the ladies, make sure y'all got y'all nipples out. And think about what's happening here, right? Because as you start to mind through this and you have these conversations, then you have to start evaluating some things. You live in an environment where it's wrong to slut shame, it's wrong to fat shame, it's wrong to hold people accountable. Everybody should be able to do what they want to do when they want to do it. You can wear what you want to wear. If women want to have their nipples out, cool. Just make sure that you don't yell any obscene gestures in their mind or say, yo, I want to bust that down to her. Because even though she's revealing everything to you and there's nothing left to the imagination except for you to actually put it in, the other side of it is just that don't say anything to her because this is the norm. This is the norm. This is what we exist in. We exist in a space where it's more normal for men to wear dresses and for women to be naked than to put clothes on and actually exist in an environment that is conducive for our children. Nobody cares about the children anymore. Nobody cares about your kids. Nobody cares about your preferences. Nobody cares about your religion. They don't care about where you come from. They don't care about your grandma watching. This type of stuff is literally on TV and there is no censorship anymore. You can say what you want to say. You can wear what you want to wear. You can do what you want to do. Just don't do it the right way or you're going to wind up getting canceled. They're not trying to cancel. Listen, I seen an article today where the guy said, we are so focused on getting rid of Andrew Tate because he is the most toxic person on the internet and that he's teaching your kids and your sons need to be worried and you need to protect your sons against the masculinity that comes against Andrew Tate. And we need to embrace people like Harry Styles. We live in an environment where there's an assault on masculinity and there's a embracing on male femininity. Think about this for a minute. It is normal for a man to be a woman and for a woman to be for the streets. And it is not celebrated when men are conditioned to be men. You can do anything you want. Somebody sent me an article today where a man is literally fighting for the life of his son. How is he fighting for the life of his son? Because the mother is making a decision in order for him to be able to have gender reassignment surgery as a child. And the father is literally fighting on his behalf to try to save him from himself because a kid know not what he do. Yet the mother is determining the fate of the child. I didn't even want to show the article at all because it was just so egregious and it was so bad. The father is fighting, and then you will sit there and say, man, this male against female conversation is nonsense. We need to just cut it out. Man, this black man against black woman conversation, this black woman against black man conversation is nonsense. We just need to cut it out. No, it is more important for us to be able to have these conversations and literally come up with some form of action than ever before. Because you're not going to sit here and convince me that when a woman or when a situation can take place, such as a woman is enabling their child to be able to have gender reassignment surgery because they can get away with it in certain states, and a man is literally trying to fight to have a say-so on what happens to protect their child against it, you're not going to sit here and tell me that that's just cool and that just makes sense. No big deal. We shouldn't even worry about it. You're not going to sit here and tell me that that's cool. That's literally a life event. That is a life or death situation. That is not a situation where you can align with somebody on. That is a situation where you have to fight. That is a fight. And you now have politicians determining the fate of your children simply because they want to acquiesce over into their voter base. And you think that that's cool? You think that this is cool? See, it's all fine and dandy. It reminded me of the drug crisis, right? Nobody was tripping when crack cocaine was flooding into the hood. But when the opioid crisis started hitting certain neighborhoods, then we wanted to start having a conversation. Then all of a sudden it became, oh, wait a minute. This ain't right. Oh, no, it ain't been right for years, for decades. But now you want to start paying attention to it because it wasn't a thing until it hit your doorstep. It wasn't a thing until it hit your. It's not a thing until you in family court. It's not a thing until she take you for everything that you got. It's not a thing until you paying for the house that her and her new man is getting bust down in. It's never a thing. Shout out to Gary. Gary says, with the 20 ball says, good morning, Anton. Great show. You know we gonna cook. Sometimes we just have to have real conversations because I want to make sure that people really understand what it is that we dealing with, Gary. It's not a thing until it hits your doorstep. It ain't a thing until it's your kid. And see, we can't live in an environment where you can then separate your kid because half of y'all, according to the statistics, 56% or more, can't even come up with $1,000 in an emergency. You gonna sit here and tell me that you can then move your kid out into a space that's conducive for them? You just trying to keep your head above water and survive. You can't even hardly provide for your kid, and yet you have to deal with this on a regular basis. You know what I'm saying, Gary? Thank you for the 20 ball. I appreciate you for supporting the platform. It's insane. It's insane what it is that people are dealing with on a daily basis. But without further ado, this leads me directly into the show, right? I want to share with you guys what is going on or what happened. Let me flip myself back over again. I want to have a conversation about what it is that I've seen on the way from the airport from the Lapeef Network, all right? Shout out to the Lapeef Network. Shout out to Lapeefing Sundays. Sundays is supposed to be a day that you get home from church. You start having a good conversation. You chilling with your people. You having a good time. And then you can tune into the show and you see something that you can probably have a conversation with your girl or your kid with. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Pan-Africanism Strikes Back. Says, you preaching this point this morning. People are laying down accepting this. People won't wake up till the kids start deleting themselves en masse. It's already happening, Pan-Africanism. You know what the difference is? They just not showing it. They not showing it on TV because then it would start to upend what the agenda is. They not showing it. They not blasting that. You got to find that all in the mix, right? That's why it's so important for people like me and you to be able to have these conversations on our platform, because if we don't talk about it, then the people ain't going to know. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you. Thank you for the 5 ball. Also, my dog Kevo's 2 cents is in the building. Thank you for the 2 ball, my friend, and supporting the platform. You are very, very much appreciated. Let's deep dive into it because I only seen a portion of it and I had to address it, right? Right there on the spot. I didn't have the time to go back and talk about it because it was just getting crazy. You know what I'm saying? So let me go in and I'm going to play and I'm going to try to skip through it. I'm going to try to skip through it and find the good points, and I'm going to try to better understand, because the question that we asking ourselves right now, and this is the same question that I posed to the panel on the Lapeef Network for Lapeefing Sundays, is I told the women, I said, this is y'all fault. You're going to see. You're going to see. The question that we have to ask ourselves is, are men justified, specifically black men, are they justified from deciding to walk away from the plantation? Are they deciding to walk away from the women? Are men now justified? Are they justified? Have we deep dived so far off the ledge to the point of no return where a man says, listen, I can't save you. I can't get the boat out to you. I can't get the life raft out to you. Some way, somehow, you're going to either have to figure out how to swim back on your own against the tide and the current that you created for yourself, or you just going to have to, God bless you, good night. Are men justified in walking away from these relationships? Let me read a couple more super chats and then we're going to dive into the show. My dog Dub Will is in the building, says the Sunday show was wild. Shout out to you for setting it straight. Thank you, Dub Will. And thank you for tuning into both this show and the Sunday show, man. You are absolutely appreciated. My dog Kevo 2 cents said, let me send you another 2 ball just for the sake of it. I appreciate you, Kevo. Sir Shab, my very first moderator, says Kevin Samuel saw the genius you and JR created with the Lapeef Network. He would actually leave his own live to jump on the panel. You doing him proud, fam. Thank you, Sir Shah. I appreciate that. He also says, I'll give Shan a pass, but the other lady's scared. Well, let's mind it out. We're going to be objective, right? Because, again, I didn't see what led up to the ratchetness. And I want to be objective, and I'm going to react to it, and I'm going to try to play and skim through it to better understand how we got to that point in the first place. So again, thank you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for understanding that this is a conversation that we need to have prior to getting into the show. And let's see if we can find this. Here we go. All right. I'm going to be reading super chats throughout the show, so thank you to everybody that's supporting the platform. Let me see if I can skip. Got JR looking spiffy.
I don't know if y'all agree, but I think that we
So Ollie Dreams won. At some point throughout the show, wound up getting into Hink, getting into it with Hink, and I mean it went off the rails. And I'm gonna try to skip to that very, very shortly. But before I do, I'm trying to really understand how it got to that point in the beginning. So I'm trying to skim through to better understand exactly what's going on here. Again, make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Also, Alpha Juice Company. All of the discount codes is in the description also. Let me see if I can find what the heck is going on right here.
try to see if the man's mental, if he's a boss, he got a business that says he could probably run a household if he could run a business, right? But, what do you think? Do you think men are doing this when they're dating and vetting women?
No, I don't think.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Lou.
No, go ahead, Hank. I'll go after you.
No, I was going to say younger men may be responding like what you're talking about. Somebody 18 to maybe out.
So the dialogue very early in the show seems peaceful, right? I can't sit there and fault somebody for feeling or believing whatever it is that they want to believe. We all have differences of opinion, and that's one of the reasons that make the show awesome to watch. It's getting different perspectives from different people, right? And so, although I disagree with her sentiment because I don't think that everybody is even willing or is built to run a business. Often at times what women don't understand is that creating a business is just creating another job for yourself. So just because you run a business doesn't necessarily mean that you're well suited for it or you have a business mindset. It just means that you're doing a whole bunch of work, a lot more work, and making less money sometimes, and also having to be more responsible for other people that you're not built for. And so, I think that people don't truly understand the mindset behind running a business, and that's why you need to join the Patreon, right? Women always want a bossed up dude and all of this other type of stuff. And again, I'm not going off of that in order to evaluate whether or not this makes sense for what happened or what took place later on. I'm just giving you my opinion, and that it's good to have different people with different dialogue because it makes for a great show. And at some point, hopefully we come to a better conclusion or with better understanding, or somebody learns something from it as a result of it, right? But the dialogue seems very much cordial at this point. She calm, she chill. Hank is chilling, having a good time. Let's continue and see if we can figure out where this went off the rails at.
25. That's how they move.
I'm reading super chats throughout the show.
But man, somebody 26 through to the end of their time, they don't move like that. They don't move like that. They don't think like that. And to sit there and say we don't.
What up, Ricky?
We don't research or watch.
Shout out to my dog Ricky is in the building. I'm trying to understand where this went off the rails, y'all. If y'all got some timestamps, because I'm gonna be skimming through this, because eventually I want to get to the point where they started arguing. They seem very, very cordial right now, Rick.
To pay attention. Oh yeah, we do.
Reading super chats throughout the show.
Well,
it's not the same. Our research is not the same as y'all research. How y'all research and what y'all research for. A lot of research on, like you said, maybe his looks and his income, and maybe his job title. But men look at beyond that. I got to look at the whole picture now.
well,
I'm talking about men older than
let
these
me ask you
young dudes
something.
you was expressing about.
So if this is the case, then why are men like the number one entity in nursing homes if they know how to vet their partner? You know what I mean? And they know. I'm just trying to find the correlation between the statistics.
What did the nursing home? What does that got to? Anyway, I'm not here for that. I'm not gonna answer the question. I was on a plane at this point.
Because I'm not going.
Realistic, you said go to 22 minutes. Realistic said go. What do you mean go to 22 minutes? What happened at 22 minutes? Let me see what's happening at 22 minutes.
Right, because a lot of people
I don't see nothing happen at 22 minutes.
That good mental connection, but
1 hour and 4 minute mark, Ricky. All right, let me go to the 1 hour and 4 minute mark. Let me see what we got over 1 hour and 4 minute mark.
just means you can be a little less attractive, okay? Because we have to.
You gotta look nice, or just a starting point. You gotta be a little attractive, and you gotta be able to afford a date. You can't be offering a woman a coffee date or a meet up at your crib.
I
you
like
gotta be
coffee
able.
dates.
I take coffee dates.
Nothing wrong with a coffee date now.
I take coffee dates.
Well, I
So I did hear a little bit about this. She said, I guess you got to step out and do some extra. I believe differently. I don't believe that a man should spend any money. Around 24 minutes to get into it. Okay. I don't believe that a man should spend any money, really, hardly any money, in order to impress a woman at all. I think that a coffee date is an effective way for you to actually vet through whether or not she's rocking with you based off of your money, or whether or not she's rocking with you based off of other things such as your character, your mindset, all of that type of stuff, right? And you can vet through it. And so if a woman is not, they got into it 2 times. All right. So let me back up. Let me back up to 24 minutes.
Now, I was going to say younger men may be responding like what you're talking about. A lot of research.
trying to find the correlation between.
You know what I mean?
Well, if you look up the
They're saying,
majority,
because you can sit there and say about an old woman's in a nursing home. They're
Well, I'm
both to be in a
talking
nursing
about
home maybe because of reasons why their kids maybe can't afford to take care of or take them in because their career won't allow them to.
A lot of people that are nursing homes, their spouse died before they got there, right? And so what happens is because you outlive your spouse, and as a matter of fact, it's a lot of busting down going on in nursing homes. It's men and women in nursing homes. I'm not really sure what the correlation is, but y'all keep me up to date on what's happening with the timestamps. I'm gonna scrub through this because I'm trying to figure out where it is that they started to find out where they started to have issues in the first place. And I'm reading super chats throughout the show.
Now, to me, it's a selfish child,
well,
but it happens.
the
that
reason
way.
why I threw that statistic out there is because
They still seem cordial though.
they're saying that men are, as a general, not just black, white, no matter the race, they are ending up in.
See, she got her titties out though. Good for entertainment. Make sure you keep your titties out. Before we get into this, let me see what Allie dreams. Let me see what's happening out here in these streets. Instagram. What is her name? Ollie Dreams 1. Ollie Dreams 1. Let's see what we working with out here in these streets. You know, I got to better understand what's happening out here in these streets. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Ollie Dreams. All right. You look okay. All right. She doing her thing. Let's see what we got here. All right. Okay, baby girl. I don't have nothing bad to say about you so far. You pretty cool. Went to Greece. All right. How old is she? I wonder how old she is. Just giving Miami vibes. Like a chick that's from Miami. Yeah, she cool. I don't got nothing bad to say about her at all. Nothing at all. All right. Okay. All right. I just like to know what I'm working with before I'm working with. All right. I don't have nothing negative to say whatsoever. I'm just trying to better understand what I'm working with before I'm working with it. All right. Let me get back to the show. And again, I am reading super chats throughout the show. Now, listen. Before we get into the show, I'm assuming that she in her 30s, right? She in her 30s and she moving. Now, let me tell you one of the reasons why I don't have anything negative to say about her personally. Because first of all, it's not a personal attack, right? That's first and foremost. Secondly, she's not bad looking at all. Not even a little bit. Like she's cool. She cute. You know what I'm saying? She cool. But third, come on, man. Before we start to be critical of her, because I haven't even gotten into the show yet. Before we start being critical of her, we gonna have to take a look in the mirror. Take a look at the last chick you bust down. Take a look at how many followers you have on Instagram. And let's not be overly critical when we not holding ourselves accountable, though. Let's not be overly critical when we not holding ourselves accountable. She is cool. Like, I don't have anything negative to say about this whatsoever, right? We not gonna sit here and kill somebody and hold them to Bernie's Burgo standards when it's okay to be a regular looking person, y'all. What happened to being normal? Like what? Okay, so let me ask y'all a question. Why can't we have a normal looking women? I like normal looking women. Normal looking women wind up getting married. What is so wrong with her? I'm trying to understand what's wrong with her. So she not okay. So what y'all saying is she's not decent enough looking to where y'all would even give a shot to. I'm not talking about her personality. I'm talking purely based off of what it is that we seeing. Y'all telling me that y'all are overly critical of a woman that just looks regular? All right. Well, maybe listen. I'm from a different era, so maybe I'm off. Anyways, let me get back to the show. Let me read some of these super chats before we start to get in, because y'all a tough crowd. Y'all like Showtime at the Apollo, and then we're gonna go ahead and play back the clip. Optimus Prime says, keep your foot on these Decepticons, Anton Prime. Shout out to you for the 2-ball. Big Podcast said, can you talk about being new in corporate with these new ideologies and doing content? Should we leave it alone? No, I think you can do content if you're new in corporate. The problem is the type of content that people do. So if you can't present it to where it actually makes you look good, which is one of the reasons why I kind of got out of corporate America before I started the Millionaire Morning Show, which used to be After Hours. When I first started my YouTube journey, it was really just documenting my life. It was nothing salacious. So I was very careful in that and allowing for that to help me market myself in corporate America. 105 is when it starts. All right, bet I'm about to jump to 105. Sir Shah says, I'll be nice, but her behavior against Hink was bad. Agreed. Shadow Dragon TV said, get the likes up. Get the likes up. All right, so let me spin myself back around, and then we're going to get back into the clip. I want to see what's happening out here. Resume.
Nursing homes because they don't have a partner. It's not about like finance. It's not about, and the woman.
I'm in a nursing home. We both may be at the probably same stage, old and really can't take care of each other. But his
they still cordial.
Probably can't get up and down the steps anymore. And probably should be moving into a one-level home, a shotgun house. But they chose to keep the home because maybe they want to gift it to the kids or maybe the grandkids. So they chose to keep their home. But they really can't afford to keep up with these homes. You got that all the time.
So do you know a lot of 30, 40, 50-year-old men that are married that have vetted a woman to put in their household? Do you know what's the majority, single or married, of the people that? Okay. Well, that's very commendable.
Ma'am, I know you're not used to accountability. I know you got your little circle of friends. Y'all don't hold each other accountable. But now you're used to being accountable.
Excuse me, Mr. Hank.
I failed the marriage, ma'am.
Okay, well, listen. Let's not personalize these topics.
Ma'am, you just did that.
No, I asked you a question.
And was your question not a personal question about me?
No, I'm saying you said that I'm not used to. You don't know what I'm used to.
Okay, but you said we're not going to personalize, but you just did when you asked me a question about my marriage.
Oh, so she asked him a question about his marriage. Okay, so wait, let's back up. Because we can't be the pot calling the kettle black. See, I skipped over 30 seconds. Let me back up a little bit.
You got your little circle of friends. Y'all don't. There's 2 single dudes out of 5 of us right now. Maybe the grandkids. So they chose to keep their home, but they really can't afford to keep up with these homes. You got that all the time.
So do you know a lot of 30, 40, 50-year-old men that are married that have vetted a woman to put in their household? Do you know what's the majority, single or married, of the people that you know personally?
Personally, I know most of my friends are married. Most of the people I call friends are married.
Okay.
There's 2 single dudes out of 5 of us right now. There's 2 single dudes. I'm divorced. He has my other buddy just has got.
All right, so it's getting personal already, right? And this is the danger, right? And as a person that has been on so many different panels, I've never missed a Lapeef show and all of this. When you start to open that can of worms, right? It's very hard to be on these panels without taking personal experience and bringing that into the conversation. I'll say that. But you're gonna have to be willing to. You got to eat that. You can't get upset. You can't get upset when somebody then turns the tables on you and starts to ask you or hold you accountable, and then start to play that same role. So let me just scoot up 30 seconds.
These topics.
Ma'am, you just did that.
No,
and he said, ma'am. He said, ma'am, you just did that. Hink is not calling her out of her name. He is not being deceitful. He's not personalizing it to the point to where, she should get offended as a result of it. It's just shots. Like, that's what we do. On a panel, you're going to take shots, but you can't be offended because he didn't call her out of her name. He didn't do any of that. He just said, listen, I know some of the chicks that you might not know. She said, what about the dudes that you know and all of this other type of stuff? And so it's equal across the board.
Your question.
And what's your question? Not a personal question about me.
No, I'm saying you said that I'm not used to. You don't know what I'm used to.
Okay, but you shouldn't have said we're not going to personalize, but you just did when you asked me a question about my marriage.
I didn't tell you that you're a failure. You said that you're a failure yourself.
No, I understand that. I understand it. But
let's move on. Let's move on, sweetie. Because we won't you don't know me.
It's so
Nope. Listen. I'm gonna be honest with you. Y'all know me. No woman in the world, respectfully, is ever going to tell me let's move on. No woman is ever going to control the narrative and tell me let's move on. I don't know what Hank is about to say. I don't know how he's going to respond to it. After he responds to it, I'm going to move over into the 1 hour and 5 minute mark. But I'm telling you, the passive aggressive, you going to say what you want to say and then you going to over talk. Nope. I'm not having it. Nope.
Can of paint. You don't know me from a can of paint to say that I don't know men that are accountable, but you will say that because I just say men. You're used to men not being accountable or women.
And I said you used to be around women who are not accountable. Most.
M&M Beauty says, not even your wife. No, my wife don't talk to me like that. And so I kind of gave you'll see it later on in the show. And I broke it down and I told the women on the panel, I said, listen, your power is in your femininity and you can control that. But we'll get into it. Anybody that know me know that I don't play that game.
Most of y'all not. Y'all don't hold each other accountable. I've seen many times on this show, women don't hold other women accountable.
Ink is still chill.
Well, I'm new to the show, and I hold myself. All
right, let me move over to 1 minute and 5, an hour and 5 minutes. I want to see what's happening at one.
I personally, I like a little more intention and effort from a man.
Well, that's
and
not
let me finish. Hold up. Let me finish, y'all, because I know y'all gonna get on me. And I like it when you get on me because listen.
I bet you do.
You know what, Hank? We're gonna fight after this. But
stay chill. Like it sounds like they got a little bit of a listen. These Hank and Ollie dreams seem like they got a little bit of sexual energy with each other. And they nudging each other a little bit. I think that if there was in person, Hank could have pulled that. I think that if there was in person, Hank could have pulled that. Real talk. Hank could have had her. I don't know if he would have did it, but I know he could have. If you know Hink, you know Hink could have did. Hink could have pulled that if he wanted to. It looked like sexual tension and energy that's built up here. Y'all saying 1 minute and 10? Let me go to 110. Let me move up. Hold on.
Restaurant or someplace.
Okay, thank you. Women like this is example of what I'm talking
Well,
about.
hold on.
In my designer car, my luxury.
Oh, hold on. I got to back up. I got to see this.
This is how I vet men, because if you can't sit with me for 2 hours, that means you haven't vetted me properly enough to know that I'm deserving of so much more.
Now, this is where they talking about coffee date versus the luxury expensive dates, right? Oof. Listen, I'm trying to stay away from what women deserve because that's not what this show is for specifically. But let's continue.
And even so, I don't take myself on coffee dates. So why the hell would I allow a man to take me somewhere that...
You like
no, hold up, let me finish. Let me finish because I'm only drinking coffee.
Is Luis up there in the upper right hand corner? Is Luis screen frozen? I have not seen an eye blink or anything from this man. I just seen a stoic pose. And now, is this screen frozen? Y'all, what happened to Luis? Did he talk during the show?
So I can stay awake because I've probably been, doing things all night, like taking care of a household. So when I'm going to work, I'm getting a cup of coffee. It's jittery. It's giving me work vibes. It's giving me an interview. And I need intimacy. I need to get to know you in an intimate way where you're being vulnerable. And can you really be?
Run into him during lunch period?
There we go, Luis.
I'm not doing it.
Y'all let her finish.
I'm not
let her get it off.
Yes, let her finish.
Yeah, I'm not allowing a man to fit me in his schedule very quick.
We got to get her on a Thursday show. We got to get this chick on the Thursday show because she would be perfect for Thursday. She would be perfect for Thursday. Ali, her name is Ali, and we can get the other Ali on there. We're gonna have to work our magic to get her. I'm not gonna go too hard because I want to make sure that we can get her for Thursday. We might have to reach out for Thursday energy on this.
Because I am something to attain, and I'm something that you really want to get to know and see if I'm on your team or not. And you can't really do that over a jittery coffee in a coffee day where someone's studying next to me, someone's in a business meeting. It's not my cup of tea. I don't knock women who do
reading
it
super chats
because y'all want to just get through it real quick. Y'all want to give them 30 minutes, and I'm not gonna get in my designer car. My luxury vehicle, put on my designer clothes, even though that's nothing to me. Hold up, that's nothing to me because I'll give it all away in a minute for the right. You know what I mean? It ain't nothing to me. But I'm just saying I'm not doing that to go and meet you for at Starbucks or some little quaint coffee place that you done looked up on Google. If you can't take me to a 5-star Michelin restaurant or someplace nice, at least you could research, even if you want to do free. If you're on a budget, you could do a free museum. I might meet you there. But
cut bait. Gentlemen, before we start to get into the blow up, cut bait. Cut bait immediately. Listen. I just did a live stream probably no less than 5 days ago on the Anton Daniels channel. And the one thing that I said specifically for men, let me see if I can find it. Hold on, I might be able to find it real quick. Cut bait immediately. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I literally just talked about this. What did I talk about this? 2-5. When y'all do stuff for these chicks, and this goes back to my first point or my second point when I was telling y'all to stop running like an Olympic sprinter, right? When you buy her stuff, let's say, for example, you buy her a flower. And flowers is not even expensive, right? But let's say you buy her a flower. You go to the grocery store or fucking Kroger or something like that, and you get a rose, and that junk don't even cost nothing. What, $5, $6, $7, $8, $9 or something like that, right? Don't do it every day. As a matter of fact,
You know how to communicate. You can chill. You can hang out. You can be present. But do not do that stuff every day, because I'm telling you, you can't maintain it. And you're setting up an expectation that you can't do. You have to spread that junk out a little bit and make it more meaningful. When y'all having conversations and somebody says, I love you, don't say it immediately. It's going to look weird at first. It's just going to be like, she said it to you. And you're like, okay, I love you. Okay, I'm feeling you. All right, thank you, babe. Then it's going to seem weird at first. But the thing that you're going to eventually communicate to her is, listen, baby. She's going to say, why you ain't say it back? Because I don't just want to tell you I love you just because you told me you love me. I want to say it authentically so that you can understand that it's meaningful in the moment. And I don't just want this to just be a thing. I don't just want to be responding to you. I love you back. Because then it's not real. But then on the other side, you're going to have to follow through. Even if you got to put a reminder in your phone, you're going to have to follow through later or maybe 2 days later and say, hey, I love you. And I don't even want you to say it back. Just hear me out. I love you. I adore you. I think that you are one of the sweetest. Listen, I need y'all to be able to play this back. Play it back, y'all. Save this one. Send it to your friends and family. And then play it back. I'm giving you the game on how it is that you can do this thing, all right? Tell her, when she say I love you, let her get a little bit upset.
What am I communicating here? Right? Later on, because I'm about to get back into the video. Later on, I break down how one of the reasons why relationships fail so much is that you lead into it with your best foot forward. You take her to the 5-star Michelin restaurant. You go all out and take her to the museum. You can't maintain that. What you think? You think that once y'all get into a relationship and then y'all get y'all one-on-one or y'all get married or something like that, that she gonna be satisfied with that? No, she's going to be looking for you to be the same person that you were when you met her. And if you can't meet that expectation, which most people can't, because if you take a woman to a 5-star restaurant, I don't know if y'all know how much it costs in order to take a woman to a 5-star restaurant. But if you take a woman to a 5-star restaurant when you start, it's no way you will be able to maintain that level of consistency throughout the relationship at all. Not even a little bit. When you lead with overly being emotional and telling you love her every day and giving her flowers and all of this other type of stuff, that's the basis by which she's going to judge you. She's going to evaluate everything that comes after that and say, well, and she might not even say it, just subconsciously, she's going to be thinking in her mind, you used to be like this. Or when I first met you, she can't wait to throw that in your face. But if you start off not leading with your money, not trying to impress her, not trying to do the thing that make her feel good, but instead trying to have a conversation to more effectively understand whether or not she's somebody that you'd even want to entertain in the first place, then you can start to ramp up because the expectations is low. And a lot of people think that they have to impress or they have to be impressive to every person that they come in contact with. You don't. The only thing that you have to do is be cool and be yourself, because you only got to get it right one time. And if she's not feeling you, then that means that you effectively vetted her out. You effectively filtered her out from the pool of women that you want to be rocking with in the first place. See, I'm giving you the game on how to be successfully in a relationship for a long time, not just trying to get to the box. If you want to lead with your money in order to get to the box, then cool, have at it. But if you really want to understand the game and know how to ramp it up, when you don't tell her you love her for the first time, that intrigues her. You think that she's so used to whoever it is that she said, I love you to say I love you back, that ain't even meaningful to her. It don't mean nothing to her. If you say something, if you say, try it tonight, right? For whoever it is that's watching this, try this. When you kicking it with somebody, or you kicking it with your significant other or your kid or whatever, tell them I love you. You already know what they're going to say. I love you too, bye. Lead with and be consistent for a whole week doing the same thing. Get her a different set of flowers every single day. I know a dude that used to send flowers to a chick's job every single week. Literally, the 2 weeks that he fell off, she came home like, what up? You cheating? What's going on? So on and so forth. Because everything that she evaluated him by was based off of the thing that he set the precedent for in the very first time. So if you leading with it, and you picking her up and your car got Armor all over it, and you took your best car and you take her to a 5-star restaurant and all of this other type of stuff, what you think? You gonna adjust her down? You gonna reset her expectations as you go along? Don't be foolish. Do not and listen, and stop trying to evaluate and doing things based off of what she thinks is best or what she is used to. You cannot care about what it is that she is into because that has no bearing or anything on what it is that we doing long term. Let me go to 105, 16.
Let me finish because I'm not gonna do free. If you're on a budget.
Example one, Ali. Don't want to go on a coffee date because I feel like I'm better than that. I'm too good for that. I'm not going to jump in my luxury.
Why would I go someplace I won't go by myself because you invited me?
I didn't interrupt.
So Hank was quiet. He did not interrupt her. He let her say whatever it is that she wanted to say. She used herself as an example in order to illustrate a point. And she literally prefaced it by saying that I'm going to say this knowing that I'm going to get pushback and y'all going to kill me for it. Those were her exact words. Her exact words were, let me kick it. I know that y'all gonna come at me for this, but I'm still gonna use myself as an example in order to illustrate a point. Hank was quiet. He literally listened to her. Now she's getting mad because he's using her example in order to illustrate why you should not be rocking with this type of person or why she feel like she's too good for a coffee date. Ma'am, you use yourself an example. Now you become the example by which we're going to have this conversation because you inserted this into the conversation. You didn't keep it above board. You didn't keep it just general. You use yourself in order to emphasize a point. I don't see anything off right here with Hank, honestly.
You, ma'am.
Don't attack me.
And he's still calling her ma'am. What? I'm sorry, I just had to stop really quickly. Why do women feel like you attacking them just because you're making a point? Nobody's attacking her. He keep calling her ma'am. He didn't call her out of her name. He didn't cuss at her. He didn't say anything crazy. He's using this as an example of what it is that you don't want to do because she introduced it into the conversation. This is not an attack. This is a Me Too moment, fellas. Be careful.
Please allow me to speak.
Let him finish.
So, okay, I'm not going to attack you personally, but women like this.
because you sound like a misogynistic man.
Okay, thank you. Women like this is an example of what I'm talking about on a regular basis, but she's not the only one because she's dealing with Instagram dudes. That's the type of dude she's talking about. She want the money and the looks. Yeah, he gonna show you all that, but he owns nothing. Matter of fact, he don't own the shirt on his back. But you'll get him because you think he's got the bag.
Talk to him,
he's got the nice looks.
Talk to him,
5'11". Yeah, that's what the type of dude.
Talk to him, Hank.
That's cool. But
it sounds like you're getting hurt by a beautiful woman.
Oh man. Listen. When you start hitting it, when you start catching them waves, when you surfing and you want to wave, they don't want to let you finish. They don't want to give you that same courtesy. She shut the whole panel down and said, listen, y'all better let me speak. Let me do what it is that I want to do. And then he was patient. He called her ma'am. He said, okay, cool. I'm going to listen to you and I'm not making it personal at all. I'm speaking specifically about the type of women that think like this, and I'm speaking in general. And she couldn't let him speak for 30 seconds before she sat up and she started pointing her finger. Look, she just like this. The minute that he started to go in, the minute that he started to cook, it was an interruption moment.
You've been hurt by a beautiful woman, and just because I'm beautiful.
That's the we know this tactic. It's the little dick. You've been hurt before. You must ain't got big dick energy. You sound like you hurt. Who hurt you? We know. Listen, we know, fellas. We know every single tactic that comes along with sign language. We know look. Let me tell you the three things that they say. Who hurt you? What woman hurt you? Because you must hate black women. This ain't big dick energy. You must got a little one. Or the other one is you must be broke and live in your mama's basement. That's the trifecta. That's the black woman trifecta of when it is that she want to really, really try to throw sign language because they can't substantiate their argument. Who hurt you? Little D, you must be broke. I'm going to say it one more time for the people in the back. Who hurt you? Little D,
or you must be broke. Whenever they say that, you know they've lost the battle. They've lost the battle and they're on their way to losing the war.
Doesn't mean that you can categorize me in the same category as that
You're
woman.
beautiful to somebody.
I have
Oh,
substance.
somebody in the chat said one more thing. You must be gay. you must be gay. That's the other one. That's the other one. I'm reading super chat shortly. Thank y'all for contributing to the platform.
Hold up, I'm beautiful to you too.
What up,
because
Bruiser?
That's why you targeting me.
What up, my
I
dog,
have to
Bruiser?
be beautiful because you're targeting me. You're targeting me, and I have the right to think and feel how I want. You can't censor me.
Well, ma'am, can I finish?
You don't own
Can I finish,
nothing.
ma'am?
What do you own?
Can I finish?
What do you?
And he could still be in respect. See, I'm not that type. I'm not the type to be dealing with a woman or a child in a way that she's talking to him right now. She is controlling the narrative, and boy, Hank is a very patient man. That's the only thing that I would say that my criticism of Hank right now. My biggest criticism of Hank right now is that he didn't nip this in the bud from the very beginning and set the precedent. He should have set the precedent from the very beginning because let me continue to hear it.
Can I finish, ma'am?
As a whole.
Can I finish, ma'am?
And he's still being respectful.
You seem to put me in a category.
He's still being respectful. Go ahead, Hank, with your respectful self. See, this is borderline simping, Hank. This is borderline simping, Hank.
And some ratchet women who use men.
Ma'am,
I'm letting you. I'm having a dialect with you. Go ahead.
You said I'm having a dialect with you. A dialogue, not a dialect. A dialect is how it is that you speak and what it is that you're saying. A dialogue is a conversation between two people.
I'm not going to allow you to sit and degrade me. That's some dumbass shit. That's what black men love. A lot of black men.
Now it's black men. Oh, I think this is the part where I might have came in at this part where I picked up my phone and I'm like, hey, what the heck is going on Lapeefing Sundays? This look like it's Thursday energy. Come on, I'm about to let it just play. I'm gonna just let it fly.
And love to do, and you're not gonna do it today, but you can go ahead and talk about another woman. But I want to allow you to do it while I'm sitting here.
Again,
go ahead.
This is the type of woman we're talking about. So we talk about the mental part. She doesn't bring peace, and like she just gave you an example right there. Talk about the sign language. Yeah, it's all right in her. It's all right there. So you're an example type of woman I teach my son. So you're good for the network. You're good for the program.
Nice way to maintain frame, Hank.
Example
good way maintaining frame, Hank.
You're the type of woman who's fake as hell, who walks in a lie, who lives a lie.
Fake. You don't know me from a can of paint.
Now, first of all, she insulted him first. Oh man, this is getting good. I'm reading super chat shortly. I just can't stop in the middle. Come on, y'all. We gotta rock this out.
Listen, let me tell you something, mister. You sound like a bitter Kevin Samuels. You must be a Kevin. You Kevin Samuel Jr., huh? You want to degrade black women because I am a black woman, and you don't know me from a can of paint. You don't know me from a can of paint, but you want to sit and categorize me as some gold digger.
And again, no man want to know that.
Boy, you should go to hell.
No. How about y'all let me finish?
How about you go to hell?
Go ahead, Hank. Just go ahead.
This is bad, y'all. I don't even know how I can break this down. I'm gonna just let it play because she disrespected a dead man. She insulted him, called him out of his name. Now she's telling him to go to hell. Y'all watching it the same way I'm watching it. Y'all watching it the same way that I'm watching it.
Before she started interrupting, I had the floor.
I'm gonna interrupt this ignorant shit because you're not about to sit and degrade me.
When you were spewing your mess, I didn't interrupt.
I didn't spew shit against you, boy. I don't even know you. You ain't.
Oh, you called him boy? You called him boy? You called me boy? Oh man. Yo, I don't know how many more ways she can be disrespectful. I don't know how many more ways she can be disrespectful. Oh my God. Yo.
I'm not
on my
boy,
radar. You acting like a boy because let me tell you why. A grown man would never sit and degrade a black woman and knowing that she's double marginalized more than you.
This is really, really bothering my soul. It's bothering my soul. I'm telling you, it's bothering my soul. Now we playing the victim Olympics. Now we double marginalized. Now we and fellas, let this be a very, very good lesson for you. Don't ever let a woman put the battery in your back to shut up by saying a real man would never ever do A, B, C, D, and E like they are a man, like they know what it feels like to be a man. Don't ever. That's how y'all got caught up with that happy wife, happy life. I would never hit a woman type of junk. Even if she about to kill me and she about to put her hands on me, I would just try to restrain her. This is how y'all end up getting killed. This is how y'all end up being simps in y'all relationship. The minute that you let a woman and you let her get away with it the first time, it's over. You might as well just cancel that relationship, because the minute that you let a woman sit here and insult your manhood, call you names, raise their voice, interrupt you, it's over. It's over. It's nothing that we should be having a conversation about going forward. And this is the thing that you should be looking for before you ever even pop the question. You need to put her in a situation, or wait for her to be in a situation where she disagrees with you, and see how she responds to it, because it's going all the way off.
A black man would never. I didn't talk about nobody. I said a man that's approaching me.
You called him a boy. You called him a boy.
If you didn't like me and find me beautiful, you wouldn't care. You would not give a fuck on what I say about another man who's approaching me. Because you know why you care? Because you know I'm beautiful, and you know you like, oh, I can't have a woman like that because I don't have the money to afford her. That's okay. If you
She hitting on all the points. Lil D energy, broke. A real man would never do this. She's hitting all of the different points of the different things, man. Seriously, bro, this is bad. And so again, let's revisit the question that I asked y'all in the very beginning. Because once you hit a certain age, and once you've been conditioned to believe a certain type of way, is there really any return, or at any point is it our responsibility as men to save women from themselves? Are men supposed to continue to subject themselves to a situation or a group of women that act like this? Because let's be clear, the overwhelming majority of women act like this. That's a fact. They teach their daughters to do so. They have no level of respect for men. And women don't even realize that their superpower isn't in the insults. The only reason that women feel comfortable enough to do this is because so many simps out there said that, yeah, you can do it in happy wife, happy life, and I would never come back at you, and we got to respect women at all costs, and women are the queen, mother of the earth, center of the universe, and all of this other type of stuff, and they double marginalized, and we need to put them on a pedestal and bow to their feet. And we so out of place, and we so in reverse, and we so out of order. And as a result, the overwhelming majority in society of women, black women specifically, because that is the demographic of women that I deal with the most, feel comfortable enough to throw these type of shots, bring up a dead man, call you a boy, and then dare you to do something to them because they know that you go into jail as soon as you do something. And so as a result, we are now in a state of emergency where we have to start asking ourselves a question, and then we have to say, is it worth it to go and save a soldier that is waiting to shoot me in the head that's on the other side of the field? Do I risk my life? We have to go, live, protect, kill ourselves every single day, trade in our time for resources, and fight everyday society only to come home to a bullet waiting for you to go right upside your temple, metaphorically, of what it is that you are fighting against. It is 10 times worse when you get home. And then we, instead of having these conversations on how we can be proactive in taking care of business, we having conversations on whether or not somebody is cheating, whether or not a man is making enough money to even take you out. We ain't even fixed the fundamentals. We don't even know how to act like men. Men need to take their spot on the throne and dead this right away And women don't even know how to operate in their femininity and be submissive. So before we ever get into whether or not I can afford to take you out, we need to be having a conversation of whether or not you can shut the fuck up and close your mouth and be quiet for 5 seconds, because you can't control nothing that's going on in here, including your own fate right now. At this very moment, you can't even control whether you live or die. Your fate is in somebody else's hands because you are the weakest person in the room. You have no strength. You have no control over what's going to happen to you, yet you feel the most compelled to talk the most. How does that make sense, y'all? How does it make sense that the weakest person in the room is the one that feel the most comfortable throwing the insults? We talking about cheating? We talking about having money? We talking about jobs? We talking about having kids and all? We talking about who can control who and all of this, but we ain't even having no conversations based off of how we supposed to be operating at a basic fundamental level. A woman will get you killed by running her mouth. The power of life and death is literally in the tongue. You are supposed to be a king. I don't know no king who the person that is supposed to be submissive to them can come up to them and talk to them this type of way. You know they don't fly in my household. I'm reading super chat shortly. Come on, man. Let's rock.
You can't provide. That's okay.
First of all,
that's okay. I get it.
First of all, you're not my
You
type.
can't provide. You can't provide. That's why I'm not
Oh,
your
I can.
type.
Okay.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
Ali,
I'll provide for trash.
let's just let him finish.
Guys.
I'll provide for trash.
Yeah, it seems like
Stand up for yourself, man.
you're trash. You're the one who's insulting black women. You're insulting black women, so you're the trash. Okay,
I don't want to mute anybody.
So I don't need you.
We gotta mute somebody.
but that's why you're by yourself.
Well, how about you meet the person
That's why you're by yourself.
Hey,
That's why you're alone. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're not married. You can't be a married man talking like that. You're
bringing out all of the big guns. You alone, you broke, you ain't got the type of energy and all of that.
They are do.
All right, guys, come on. We gotta get back.
Okay, you guys are
saying what I need to say
right now. I'm gonna
Ain't not one person up here, not one person is gonna take control of this situation. I was appalled. I'm riding in my car on the way to the crib, and I'm sitting here appalled. I was literally looking at my phone appalled. I said, I can't believe I'm about to have to cam up on Lapeefing Sundays in order to get some control over this situation. Jesus Christ.
no, you're not saying that ignorant shit.
Ali, hold on.
Fuck you.
chill, y'all.
Ooh.
I'm gonna let you finish, but try to do it without directly
Trying to insult another black woman.
But she
This
can't
ain't
even
what
give no
you
respect to the
did,
person
what
that's
you
moderating the
didn't like
panel.
about what she was
Did you
saying.
hear what her stipulations without insulting another black? But y'all was free
I
to
didn't
insult
say
every-
that.
First of all, you don't know if a black man approaching me or not. So why are you trying to internalize what I said? You said you don't find me attractive. So why are you internalizing the man who approached me? So you shouldn't care about what I want
I
from a
don't care
man.
about you, man.
Ali,
So why are you talking about it?
Ali, just let him finish his.
You're
You
a
guys.
crackhead that I don't care about, ma'am. I
Okay,
care nothing about you.
she's not talking.
Then don't mention me again. Then.
Go ahead, Hank, finish what you were saying without talking about her specifically, because
And I wouldn't talk about it. I'm just an example. These are the type of women that we have to that men have to deal with. They have to choose from. And guys, please take notes. Don't deal with this type of woman.
They don't want your broke ass taking them to Starbucks because you don't know how to mentally vet a woman. Get your ass out of here.
Oh, y'all.
Again, I did not direct it towards her, but yet she feels offended.
You did say, "Oh, these are the type. This is the type of woman." As if I'm the poster child. You just said me. If you didn't mention me, sweetie, this is an ignorant panel. If you're gonna sit and try to degrade me from what my opinion is, sweetie, you just sound like a Kevin Samuels Jr. You sound like a Kevin Samuels Jr. who died with a prostitute on top of him because he was taking too much Viagra and Red Bulls, which will be you.
I gotta take a break. Let me read some of these super chats and see what's happening in the chat. Eating Elephant says, y'all done spend stimulus checks on worse. Stop the cap. I think that they have. I think that they have too, Eating Elephants. Thank you. CTX says, that's a BBL and lip injection, sir. I don't know, Anton. Rita has not ever had any kind of surgery, so I have no clue whatsoever. I'm just going by what y'all telling me. She literally said Michelin 5-star date. Sir Shah says, when will the sisterhood hold each other to task? Never. Shout out to Grant T with the 10 ball. Says when women sound like her, only thing that come to mind is where are your results? She will get okey doked by men who lead with their money. She will get ghosted after 2 months when he is done with her. Machine says, and then she made it a black woman issue, as usual. Big Podcast says she probably come from a 2-part family home. I see what you did there. I see what you did there, Big. I feel you. Sir Shah says, and they mad at Austin for getting his passport. Better You says, get that man husband proper respect. His patience proved his point. He's Saint Hink now. We gonna have to make him change his name. Better You. Thin Black Lion LA Wilkes says, did this bird say double marginalized? She did say double marginalized. They literally get that 304 disrespect that dude without any consequences. No, it wasn't without consequences. I addressed it accordingly, and I still kept it professional because it wasn't towards me specifically, but I kept it professional. She just dissed my boy Kev. She dissed the dead man.
You getting a little older, baby. You're getting a little older, baby. You better watch it.
These are the type of women you need to stay away from.
These are the type of men you should stay away from that want to take you on coffee dates,
They
call
don't
you,
know
and call you names and don't know you from a can of paint because they think you only deserve coffee.
If these women are willing to act like this on,
I think you only deserve water. I'm different. I think you only deserve water. I think it's safe to say that Lapeef invite revoked. We're going to talk about it. We'll talk about it, family. Give me a second. Let me see. Ricky Williams says, and when Anton didn't white knight her, she turned into a track star. Nah, Ricky, I removed her. That's what people don't understand. She didn't dip off. I removed her, and then she was just sitting in the back. And then I wound up kicking her from the back because I'm like, yo, it ain't nothing for us to talk about you. See, I'm not Hink. And respect to Hink, but I'm not Hink. I don't move that way. I don't negotiate with terrorists. I will entertain it because it's good entertainment sometimes, and I'll let stuff go to a certain extent depending on how much equity you got in with me. But I'm not Hink. And I don't rock like that.
On a live stream for millions of people to watch. Imagine what she's willing to do behind closed
Imagine
doors.
what you're willing to do and you're doing. Look at what you're doing. You need to focus on you and your ignorance. You need to focus on you and your ignorance on what you're doing. You need to focus on you.
Have no respect for them.
Men act like this, and men like you deserve to stay in the basement with your mama.
I think I was pulling up to the crib at this point. I was trying to hurry up and get my luggage out the car so I can get in here and do what I need to do. I said, this is crazy. Let me fast forward.
You're not attracted.
You're not automatically valuable. Then Shanti said she was
speaking for you.
Yeah, I feel
okay. You missed the whole.
Start calling him to take me for.
Why would I?
Absolutely. And for me,
all right.
Anton out.
I'm not allowed to finish. I'm not allowed to address what I was starting to speak on.
Address it, but don't point it.
No, stop.
Nah, everybody want to start having a conversation now. We all want to keep it cordial when I pop up on the panel. We all want to keep it cordial because y'all know that something got to change now. When I got to come home and I got to deal with this, something got to change. Don't start want to have a conversation now. No, we dealing with results now. Now we about to go down a different path, and I'm gonna try to get some control. And if I can't get some control, then we just gonna go ahead and nuke it.
Stop telling me what to do, Kurt.
I'm saying no. I'm saying that's
no.
That's
Stop
all
telling
I'm
me
saying.
what to do. You don't do that, ma'am.
I'm not
I don't tell you what to say.
Said,
no,
she's
ma'am,
asking you.
Hey,
She's asking.
hey,
question.
you guys gotta stop.
Hold on. We're gonna give Hank the floor. We're not gonna let not one woman interrupt him while he's talking. And then when he gets done talking, then y'all can respond. And when y'all respond, I'm gonna need y'all to not insulting because it's disrespectful.
Anton, he was disrespecting me and insulting me. He said that I'm a gold digger, I'm this, and men need to stay away from me.
Hold on, Hank. Go ahead.
See, I said he's insulted me this whole entire life. And he's been targeting me. I haven't said nothing about this man. So you need to direct that towards him. Curves is taking up.
Well, first of all, don't nobody tell Anton to direct anything towards anybody. I'm controlling this conversation. I'm going to take it the way that I want to take it. And we're going to do this respectfully, or we're going to do something a little bit differently.
Me, because she feel like he's attacking me.
Wait. Here's the thing. If he's attacking you, how do you handle it, right? Because you a grown woman.
And he a grown man.
But hear me out, right?
This is a patriarch where men run things, right?
So you gonna overtalk me and I ain't show you nothing but respect?
Now you see what I had to deal
with.
Hold
on, Hank. So you gonna overtalk me and I'm just having a conversation?
No, I'm not trying to overtalk you. I'm interjecting because you're saying that I'm a woman. I need to have more grace when he's sitting here verbally attacking me. And I feel like you're not addressing that. Where is his?
So at what point in history, from any woman specifically, right? Because if you understand him as a man, then you also understand how to handle him. At what point in any point in history has a woman been able to be successful when it comes to conversation, when it comes to in-person interactions, without handling it with grace? Like if you with your man right now, right, and your man starts spazzing out or whatever, you gonna go back off on him?
This ain't my man. Anton, you asked me a question, so let me answer it.
See how I had to talk? See how I was trying to show a level of grace? You got to control the room at the same time, and if it doesn't go that way, then you deal with it accordingly. Follow me. I don't want you to, don't direct it towards him. Just follow me, right? Just roll with me on this one. If you with your man, even if it's not your man, if you're in the presence of men in real life, right? How do you handle it if you see some confrontation going off or if somebody says something to you?
The way I would have handled it, I tried that. The man has continuously
just follow me.
Wait. Anton, I'm answering it and you interrupted me and you don't like my answer. So
okay, I'm gonna let you answer. Go ahead.
Evidently,
baby.
You want me to humble myself.
Go ahead and answer.
Wait, I'm answering it. Let me answer. You want me to humble myself for?
I'm gonna be honest with you. At this point, I was done. At this point, when somebody continues to lecture me instead of going ahead and answering a question, I was already in the back of my mind like, and I'm being 100% transparent with y'all. I was already in the back of my mind like, this is not going to go well. Let me go ahead and handle this accordingly. But, and we're going to bring it back to the original question. And I'm having this conversation because they had been on the panel at this point up to 1 hour and 40 minutes. From a man's perspective, think about the original question in this live stream. And from a man's perspective, at what point, from a man's perspective, is he to then leave a woman behind? At what point are men still responsible for the provision and the protection and the overseeing as a community, a group of women, or black women specifically, that don't want to be protected, even from themselves?
Man, to allow him to continuously on a live try to degrade me as a human being, and you want me to humble myself. Black women have laid down on the front line for black men and the rest of the world for many centuries. I don't owe him nothing. I don't have to have some type of be so gracious when a black.
Now y'all see how I'm just listening? I'm not interrupting or anything like that.
Black man is verbally attacking me. As a grown man, I felt like y'all should have came and said, hey, if you got something to say that you don't like about her opinion, don't direct it towards her.
You're not even talking to me. You still talking towards Hank. That's how I know you emotional, and that's how I know you caught up.
I told you I feel
because you're not. But
that brings emotion.
But did I disrespect you?
I'm not talking about you.
But you're not talking to Hink right now. You're talking to me.
But I understand that, but this is fresh. It just happened.
I asked you to follow me and roll with me on the conversation, and then experience what it is that I'm taking you down, because I'm trying to convince you of something. I'm trying to sell you on something, right? I'm not disrespecting you. I didn't call you out your name. I didn't overtalk you. None of that, right?
All right, so I appreciate the time today.
If you in the
I don't have to be on y'all panel. I feel like I really appreciate y'all letting me have my opinion.
So you can't have a conversation with me?
If you're not going to address this man, I just told you I felt disrespected. How
do you know what I'm going to do, and you already trying to tell me what to do instead of having?
You're addressing me.
See, when you that's it. I was already gone. That was it for me. The minute that you raise your voice at me, I can't hear you no more. The minute that a woman raises her voice at me, especially if you ain't got no equity with me, I can't hear you no more. I don't hear anything that you're saying. That's it.
You're addressing me.
I'm having a conversation with you. I'm not addressing anybody.
But you should be having a conversation with Mr. Hank. I am done with this conversation.
How do you know what I'm going to do? And you. My one problem is that I let this go 1 minute too long. That's the only thing that I'm disappointed in myself for. So combative.
I don't have to be on this panel. I appreciate it. Lapeef was great.
Well, we're not mid sentence. We're just gonna go ahead and kick her off. We don't need no announcements. We don't need to go back and forth. We're not gonna sit here and have conversations. Mid sentence, I'm just gonna remove you. Just go ahead and remove her. We're not gonna let you give your speech. Like, if you don't want to be here, then get the fuck out of here then.
So Anton.
No, hold on, man. Let me just say this. Let me say this. The only reason I started having a conversation. Now, keep in mind, she's still sitting there in the back, y'all. In the first place. And I don't even know why she's still in the back. Get the fuck out of here. The only reason. So at this point, it was over, right? And then a little later in the stream, I told the women specifically. I said, yo, this is y'all fault. I'm holding every single woman that's on this panel accountable, because at no point did not one woman, and listen, I know that there could have been circumstances and situations that justified why certain women didn't want to operate that way. Some of them didn't want to deal with the confrontation. Some of them may not just be used to even being in an environment that didn't get ratchet like that. Whatever it is, this is why men catch the majority of the pushback from society, from women, all the way across the board. Because what happens is, then when we have to jump in and essentially protect the rest of the women from the hyenas, then we become the enemy, and then it's black men don't protect black women. Okay, so again, let's ask the question again. At what point do you as a man feel compelled to have to leave a circumstance or a situation in order to be able to protect your sanity, protect the people that's around you, and to protect your well-being? Because at some point, you can't make somebody do what's in their own best interest. Are we justified? Are we justified? Are we justified as men to then walk away from the situations that's not conducive or best for us? Are we justified? Does it make sense for us to actually be able to walk away? And I'm curious. So, like I said that I was going to do in the beginning of the show, I'm going to drop the link in the chat. Make sure you got your camera on. Women or men, if you disagree with me, I'm going to give you the floor. Whatever energy you come up here with is the energy that I will meet you with. If you are a cordial, nice, awesome person, then you will be met with energy that is reciprocated, or it will be a reflection of that. Anybody that feels differently from me, anybody that feels that I'm off, if you feel like it's unnecessary for us to even be having these conversations based off of black men, black women, if you think that she's right, if you think that I'm wrong in any way, shape, or form, you will now have the opportunity to communicate that. Now, the caveat is that I don't want to talk to anybody that agrees with me. Let me say that again.
If you agree with me 100% and you have zero pushback, I do not want to talk to you. Why do I not want to talk to you? Because we align, right? You feel me. If you agree with me, hit a like for the YouTube algorithm because the likes is low. If you agree with me, hit a like for the YouTube algorithm because the likes is low. If you disagree with me, I just dropped the link in the chat for you to be able to cam up and communicate why I am missing the point, because I now support, and I will never hold a man accountable for then saying that I don't want to talk to these type of women anymore because this is not healthy. This is not conducive for what it is that I'm trying to do in my life. And I don't feel compelled to have to save anybody because I am my own person and I stand on my own 2 feet. And we now live in a society where women have equal everything. I just dropped the link in the chat. If you agree with me, hit a like for the YouTube algorithm. If you disagree with me, feel free to cam up and join the live stream. I have now dropped the link in the chat. I told y'all in the beginning of the live stream that I was going to drop the link in the chat in order to ensure that you guys would be able to cam up and say what it is that you wanted to say and communicate and tell me to my face how I am wrong. Ladies, gentlemen, whomever it is that feels, and I'm waiting. I don't see anybody camming up. I don't see nothing has given me an alert. Nothing has given me an alert to say, Anton, they are now willing to have this conversation because they disagree with you. Because if you don't disagree with me, then that means that you actually agree with the idea that we are supposed to walk away from situations that's not conducive for us. Let me read some of these super chats before we get popping. And then I'm gonna play some more of the video. Gravity Z and Company says, rest in peace, your godfather. We miss you. Shout out to Kevin Samuels. We will take no disrespect. She deserved a cup of water, no ice, and not Fiji either. Better You says, water. She don't deserve a box of rocks. King Buddha says she gets an old McChicken, not even a fresh one. Dang, y'all tough. I actually like her. I just think that she's, I think she could be good for entertainment. IBR7 says, YouTube Reverend X, LOL, those who she needs. Shout out to you. Thank y'all to everybody for the super chats. Let me continue. I don't see anybody camming up. The link is in the chat for y'all to be able to cam up and communicate to me and help me to understand how I'm wrong. The link is in the chat for y'all to be able to cam up and communicate to me exactly how it is that I'm wrong. Feel free to come up here. Give me smoke. Tell me, Anton, you full of it. I don't like you, whatever. Chicks like that will keep your kids hostage, have you knocked out in the stands of an NFL game fighting a random dude, and have you in jail for 25 years. Shout out to you, Aaron. I appreciate you. Nick the Magnificent with the fireball says you handled that, big dog, because we're not going to sit here. We're not going to raise our voice. We're not going to do none of that. We're just going to get straight to it. Sophisticated Jerk says Anton pulled up like Michael Corleone on Godfather. Y'all crazy. Brock says, pass a love offering. I literally run from these kind of overly emotional women. For real, black men, save yourself and embrace better women. Lenny Deadstock says, just cut off a woman like this. Thanks on the advice, Anton. # focus on yourself. Well, Lenny, here's the question that I have then for you, Lenny. If you say cut off women like this, where are y'all finding the women? Because y'all say that Anton, you aged out. You don't really know. You've been married for too long. You've been doing it successfully. You're too rich. You're not really out here with the regular everyday guy. Well, then I'm waiting on somebody to cam up and help me to understand where it is that you can find women that are more or less different from this. Because I'm going to tell you, they don't make stereotypes up from anywhere. A stereotype is literally rooted in something. If they tell you, and I'm going to continue to read the super chats, if they sit here and tell y'all and they say, well, I'm tired of dealing with angry black women. And then black women come up and they say, I'm so tired of y'all calling us angry black women. The only way that you can change the narrative or the stereotype, because stereotypes can be good or bad, right? Jewish people is often regarded as rich or having resources or controlling the narrative that comes along with what happens in society, even though they're just a small minority of the population, right? If they say that black men are more than likely to get arrested and end up in jail, if I look at the arrest records and violent crimes in major cities, it would be a reflection of that because we are only 13.6% of the population, but we're the majority of the jail. we're a majority of the people that are in jail, right? A stereotype is not a stereotype for any reason. At some point, there's some truth in it. And so if you say angry black woman, or women need to snatch dreams, or women are always leaning into the trifecta of saying that, or we just going to say more than a trifecta with a caveat, and that either a man is gay, he got a little D energy, he lived with his mom and he broke, or he hate black women and all of this other type of stuff, then prove me wrong, because every single woman that or the overwhelming majority of the women that we are running into are then saying that, or they're proving the stereotype to be true. If I drive through an environment and I can't leave my car on the street for more than 30 seconds without it ending up on blocks, and then the people that actually steal your cars are people that look like you, I can't sit here and say that the stereotype is then wrong, because that is an example of what it is that people are experiencing and going through in a general sense. I don't see anybody camming up. Where's everybody at? Let me make sure I put the right link in, because apparently I thought that it was some people that said, Anton, that you're wrong. I don't see anybody camming up. Where's the link at? Because now you're substantiating my argument. Women today, not just black women, but especially with regard to black women, but women today are combative. I don't really care about your reasons right now, because that ain't mattering. I'm calling out what the problem is. They're combative, they're vindictive, they're angry, insulting, and disrespectful. Not only to themselves, but to men, to their children, to their superiors, to society, and we out of order. We're out of order. And the only way that you can corral a wild horse, the only way that you can corral a wild horse is to be willing to get kicked by it. You have to be willing to suffer with that horse in order to try to corral it. Then you have to retrain it. Either you got to put it down, or you got to walk away and let it run into the wild and let it have self-inflicted wounds. You got to put it down, you got to walk away from it and let it have its own self-inflicted wounds, because some horses are not willing to be tamed. You got to be willing to get kicked in your neck by that horse and be permanently damaged in order to really corral that horse. Now, some horses you might be able to get some control of, but at what cost? At what cost? At what cost are you willing, and do you think that that horse is worth the effort of saving, or do you go and get you another Mustang? Do you go get you another Mustang? Why am I trying to save this horse and it ain't trying to be saved? It ain't trying to be saved. It don't want its hooves changed. It don't want to be taken care of. It don't want to actually help me run this farm. It just want to run wild and tear everything and everyone up. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. And so I'm going to conclude that since nobody canned up and nobody has any pushback, because I opened it up and I let y'all know in the beginning of the show that I was going to do so, that you agree with me. You see me as correct in this instance. You see me as correct in this instance. You don't have to make no excuses in the chat. You had your opportunity. You could have came up. You could have said anything that you wanted to say. You chose to remain silent. And so as a result, I'm going to have to conclude that we all agree that it is now time to start having a conversation about who needs to be left behind and who can come with us. Everybody is not meant to come to the promised land. Everybody can't come to the land of milk and honey. Everybody is not meant to be saved, because that same person that you're trying to save is going to stab you in the back of the neck. The question now becomes, as we continue to progress, because we're not giving up on black people, we're not giving up on us, we're not giving up on relationships, we're not giving up on marriage, we're not giving up on our kids. That's never an option. We never surrender. We're not surrendering what we're doing now, and I'm going to read the super chats in a minute. What we're doing now is we're changing the dynamics of the conversation because we've been having this conversation for a long time with no progress. It's only been getting worse. The question that I want you to ask yourselves when you get off this live stream and when you look at these conversations and you evaluate and you replay what's going on in society, who comes with us, who gets left behind? Because we starting a whole new brand, a whole new community, and we rolling with a whole new group of people that's more closely aligned with the direction that we going in. We're no longer going to go back and forth with people that does not add value into our lives. In real life, I'm talking about in real life, not on these panels. We're no longer going to go down a path where people are not adding value into our lives. We're divesting ourselves from the trash the same way that other cultures have been able to in order to be able to build wealth, have healthy relationships, raise our kids, and then also align with a group of people that's going in the direction that you're going in. That's the new conversation for me. So I thank you. I appreciate you. Now that I know that every single person on this live stream is agreeing with me, because you did not cam up, I'm going to turn off the interview link. And we're going to do the same thing tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I don't know where I'm going with these conversations. One thing I do know, two things is for certain. Make sure you join the Alpha Juice conglomerate. The link to be able to order your Alpha Juice is in the description. Make sure you use the discount code in order to get that money's off. And then also, make sure you join the Patreon. I literally just dropped the video 15 minutes before this live stream. It is awesome. It is crazy. And it's called Who Killed My Son? Uncensored, insane. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you, Alpha Juice Company and Teach Hanley, for continuing to support the platform. But I need you guys to do me one more favor before we get out of here, and I think you know what that is. Make sure you share this with your family and friends. We don't want to be great by ourselves. Oh, wait a minute. Before I go, I can't go without reading all of the super chats because I appreciate everybody that support the platform. Centennial G says she got Jesus Christ. She got a taco neck and ASL sign language down for sure. Amazes me. She can't devote that energy in finding a chiropractor to address her neck snap. Y'all insane. Ronnie Robinson says, sir, you are 1,000% correct. You and Hink are better men than me. I try, my friend. Shout out to Azrael, the first of his name, says, one has to ask where the passport bros lying. Now, I think that it is a conversation that need to be had because I think that the passport bros aren't actually getting any better results. But I'm going to save that for maybe tomorrow. Maybe we can have that conversation. Shout out to you, my friend, for supporting the platform. And then last but not least, Dr. Real TV says, Monique sent the strike to my channel from Lapeefing Network for fair use reacting to you cooking her. Who is Monique? How was she able to do that? Monique. Who is Monique? Monique. Oh, you talking about the chick that she shouldn't have been at? She didn't send it from my channel. It's impossible for her to send it to my channel. That's A. And B, if it's a reaction video and you're not using original content just to be able to have that in your video alone, you can fight that strike and get that back. So she did not send it from our channel. She is not a moderator on our channel. She does not control our channel. It's impossible for her to be able to do so. And you should not accept that strike. You should actually fight it because it's impossible for her to be able to do that. So I'd have to know more about it, but I need to understand it. Shout out to Dr. Real TV. It's impossible for her to be able to do that. Who is Monique Kincaid? Nobody can send a strike from our channel because we've never sent strikes from our channel. We don't send strikes from the Lapeefing Network. We will ask you to remove our content if you are using it solely just to act like it was your content. But if you reacted to something, we don't send strikes for reaction videos. All right. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I am going to holler at y'all later. I need y'all to send me the IG. Send me another IG and I'll check it out and then we'll play it out. It's impossible for us to be able to send it because she don't control nothing on our channel. All right, I'll check it out. Listen, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Peace.